Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kaila Salasabila, and I'm here with my partner, Hafiza Husnia. We are from Group 10, and we would like to presentation about language and culture. Next. Definition of language. The principal method of human communication consisting of words used in structure and conventional way and conveyed by speech, writing, or gesture. A system of communication used by a particular country or community. Next. Definition of culture. The arts and other manifestation of human intellectual achievement regard to collective. And number two, the costume art, social institution, and achievement of a particular nation, people, or other social group. Next. Language is a part of culture, but the culture is complex, total containing many different features. And what is language and culture means? Culture and language are inextricable linked. You can understand culture without first learning a language. A specific language is usually associated with a particular group of people. You interact with the culture of the language speaker when you communicate in their language. Next. Culturally influence aspect of language. Members of different cultures not only speak different language, but also have different ways of using the language they speak. The different assumption of what appro appropriate to say and how to go about saying it. In fact, people who live in the same country and speak the same language can also have different assumptions about what to say and how to say it, depending on their ethnic and class backgrounds, geography, region, gender, and other influence. The way of speaking that characterize how people say what they mean occur at every level of language use, from such as obvious element as what it is appropriate to talk about to less obvious aspect of speech like intonation and turn taking. Next. Here are some of linguistic elements that characterize and distinguish use of language in this situation described above. Number one is topic, what to talk about. Number two, agonism, using an adversarial format to accomplish goals other than literal fighting. Number three is amplitude, pitch, and tone of voice. Number four is intonation. Number five is overlap versus interruption. Number six is turn taking. Number seven is indirect indirectness. Number 8 is framing. How ways of speaking signal what speaker thinks they are doing by talking in particular way in particular context. Culture is highly complex and multifaceted phenomenon. In addition to individual personality, there are many other cultural influence as well, such as geographic region, ethnic groups, social class, gender, profession, sexual orientation, and so on. This cultural influence affect the word's expression, intonation patterns, turn-taking habits, and other linguistic aspects of how speaker says what they mean. Next. Language, culture, and framing. Framing is the way speaker communicate what they think they are doing in particular in interchange, and therefore how to interpret what they say. The meta message signals what people think they are doing when they speak particular words in particular ways in particular context. The concept of framing shows that language and culture are inseparable. You cannot communicate or interpret meaning through language without signaling meta message, how you mean what you say, and meta message are signal varies from culture to culture. Next. Cross-cultural miscommunication. An anthropological linguist and also the founder of interactional social linguistic. Suaranya putus-putus ya, Fiza.
Enggak.
Gumper's particular goal ways to understand how cultural difference in language use can lead to discrimination against members of minority groups and social inequality. Here is one example of a situation he studied. In the case, Gumper found the problem was in the intonation difference used between the English server and the South Asian server. When both servers make an offer with the same word, the British servers say it with rising intonation. Sound like a question, while the South Asian server said with falling intonation was heard by the British as a statement. Linguistic processes are not the only factor at play when a minority group faces discrimination and social inequality. Many other factors, such as economic and politics, play a role as those outright prejudice, but it is important to acknowledge that linguistic element may be part of the problem, as these elements are often invisible and therefore overlooked. Next. Politeness and interaction. Norms and expectation about who can say what to whom and when vary across culture as well. To explain the interactive goals that account for what people choose to say, linguistics use the term politeness to refer to a way of balancing several competing interactive goals. Cultural difference in politeness norm help to explain some of what happened when people of the different cultural backgrounds talk to each other. In this regard, linguist Robin Lakoff identified three rules of rapport that speakers try to follow when they interact. Number one is don't impose. Number two, give give option. Number three, maintain camaraderie. Next. Next slide. High, high involvement and high considerateness styles. In an example of interaction between an American student and a German student, the German student will launch into a animated politic argument is focusing on the need to show involvement. Using a high involvement conversation style, while the American student who recite talking about politics or religion is focusing on the need to avoid imposition using a high considerateness style. Next. Overlap. Speaker who avoid overlap honors the need to be imposed on, so it is associated with a high considerateness style. For speaker who embrace overlap as a show of enthusiasm and interest honors the need to be connected. So it is a part of high involvement style. Both style can work well among speakers who share assumption about conversation overlap. High involvement speaker have no problem talking to other high involvement speaker, as well as highly attentive speaker. But when speaker using the two style interact, their impression of each other may be the opposite of what each intended. When speaker use and interpret overlap differently, conversation between them can have in intended outcomes. For cross-cultural misunderstanding like this are not the result of any individual's conversation style. Rather, such as misunderstanding result from the interaction of participant different styles. Next, for the next slide will be presented by Hafizah.
Back-channel cues. The tendency to overlap as a way of showing enthusiastic listenership has been documented for speakers in many cultures, including Germany and Antigua and Japan. Though the forms of overlap and their frequency are not always the same, linguists call the verbalization speakers make to show that their listening back channels cues. In Japan, According to Japanese linguist Haru Yamada, listeners typically provide very frequent back-channel cues called aizuchi that are typically accompanied by rhythmic head nods. Aizuchi may range from the repetition of a single word "hai," which functions rather like the English expression or "en aha," to entire sentence such as "Tashikal so desu yone," which Yamada translates as "yeah, yeah, yeah, that's exactly right." This apparent agreement means only I'm listening and I'm following, not I agree. But Americans often take these expressions of attention literally and feel misled if it turns out that their Japanese interlocutor does not in fact agree. Anytime expectations regarding back-channel cues differ, speakers can come away with the wrong impression and may even lead to negative stereotypes of other groups. Turn taking. Overlap and listener response, along with rate of speech and pausing work together to accomplish the exchange of turns in a conversation. Those who value overlap as a show of involvement often leave shorter pauses between turns, perhaps because long pauses would give them the impression that the conversation is wandering. Those who avoid overlap because it seems intrusive often leave longer pauses between turns, perhaps to be certain that the previous speaker won't be inadvertently interrupted. Hal ini menunjukkan bahwa dalam sebuah percakapan sangat mungkin terjadi adanya tumpang tindih percakapan atau berbicara dalam waktu yang sama antara pembicara yang satu dengan pembicara yang lain. Dari hasil penelitian yang dilakukan, orang-orang yang menyukai tumpang tindih percakapan seperti orang New York akan tetap berbicara dan hanya mengambil jeda sedikit ketika berbicara. Sedangkan untuk orang yang cenderung menghindari tumpang tindih percakapan seperti orang California, maka mereka akan menggunakan jeda yang lama untuk menunggu gilirannya berbicara setelah pembicara sebelumnya telah selesai. Asking questions. Along with rate of speech and turn-taking, a high involvement style includes habit regarding asking questions such as when, how many, how quickly, and what about, that differ from those of high considerateness style speakers. For these high involvement speakers, questions indicate enthusiastic listening, and speakers are not obligated to stop mid-sentence and to answer them, nor even to answer them at all. Dalam hal seperti ini, orang yang memiliki gaya keterlibatan tinggi seperti orang New York akan sering memberikan pertanyaan-pertanyaan dalam waktu yang cepat dan menggunakan nada tinggi. Kemudian pertanyaan-pertanyaan tersebut akan membuat orang yang memiliki gaya perhatian tinggi seperti orang California atau orang Inggris kebingungan untuk menjawab semua pertanyaan tersebut. Indirectness. Another important element of conversational style is indirectness, conveying meaning without saying it explicitly. It is not possible to articulate everything we mean in every utterance. Some of the meaning must always be read between the lines, based on past conversation and expectation about what will be said, and from culturally agreed upon meanings that are associated with particular expressions. Cultures differ in how much indirectness is expected, when it is expected, and what form it will take. Mutual stereotyping. When participants in a conversation have different norms for using language, they often come away with negative impression of the other person when speakers see others as members of indefeasible cultural groups. The result often is cultural stereotyping. Around the world, members of groups who tend to speak more slowly tend to be negatively stereotyped by faster speakers, of course, as dull. Stereotip adalah penilaian terhadap seseorang yang hanya berdasar pada persepsi terhadap suatu kelompok. Contohnya seperti orang New York dan Swedia yang memiliki gaya keterlibatan tinggi, sering distereotipkan sebagai orang yang memaksa dan agresif. Sedangkan orang Amerika dan bagian lain Amerika Serikat dan Finlandia memiliki gaya perhatian tinggi, sehingga distereotipkan sebagai orang yang membosankan dan tidak menarik. The ritual nature of conversation. Within the United States, women and men often have different habits with regard to indirectness when it comes to deciding what to do. For example, a woman and a man were riding in car. The woman The ritual nature of conversation. Within the United States, women and men often have different habits with regard to indirectness when it comes to deciding what to do. For example, a woman and a man were riding in a car. The woman turned to the man and asked, "Are you thirsty? Would you like to stop for a drink?" The man wasn't particularly thirsty, so he answered no. Later, he was perplexed to learn that she was annoyed with him because she had wanted to stop for a drink. He became annoyed in turn, wondering why she didn't just say so. He assumed that her question was an indirect way of expressing her desire to stop for a drink, and this could have been the case. Language and gender. Misunderstanding like this occur frequently between women and men. There is there is ample evidence that many American women are more inclined than most American men to use indirectness when it comes to making a decision or expressing preference about what to do. This doesn't mean American women are always more indirect, however. There are other contexts in which many men are inclined to be more indirect than women. One such context is apologizing. Expectations about how men and women tend to speak, that is, gender norms, vary across cultures, as do norms regarding the use of indirectness. Kesalahpahaman dalam percakapan antara laki-laki dan perempuan yang memberi penawaran untuk berhenti membeli minum pada contoh tersebut menunjukkan bahwa bukan hanya perempuan yang menggunakan ketidaklangsungan dalam menyampaikan sesuatu, tetapi juga laki-laki. Complementary schismogenesis. In many of the preceding examples, you might be wondering why people who talk to each other frequently, such as family members and roommates, don't come to understand each other's styles and adapt to them. Sometimes they do, but sometimes the opposite happens. The more two people with differing styles interact, the more frustrated they become. Things seem to get progressively worse rather than better. Often what happens is complementary schismogenesis, a process by which two speakers drive another to more and more extreme expressions of divergent ways to speaking in an ever-widening spiral. What begins as a small difference becomes a big one, as each speaker tries harder to do more of what seems obviously appropriate. Language and cultural relativity. The discussion so far has shown that language and culture are inseparable because language is learned and used in cultural context. In order to emphasize the inseparability of language and culture, linguistic anthropologist Michel Egger refers to them collectively by a single term, language culture. It helps to have a single word because the phrase language and culture creates the notion of two separate entities. In other words, the language itself shapes the way we think about things. Moreover, Language gives the world a sense of coherence by providing ways to order the many objects, people, and experiences we encounter. The claim that language shapes thinking is referred to as the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, named for its original proponent Benjamin Lee Whorf and his teacher, the anthropological linguist Edward Sapir. According to linguistic determinism, you can never really conceive the culture and language is as one because your language does not give you a single word to represent them. In contrast, the weak form of the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, linguistic relativity, claims that a language makes it easier to conceive of ideas for which it has words or obligatory grammatical categories, but it is still possible to think in other ways. Mengenai hal ini, Michael Eger merujuk pada sebuah kata yaitu language culture. Istilah tersebut menunjukkan bahwa bahasa dan budaya itu tidak dapat dipisahkan serta membentuk cara berpikir seseorang mengenai suatu hal. In addition to the exuberance and deficiencies introduced by grammatical categories and words that are particular to a given language, another way in which language is inseparable from culture is that much of the meaning we glean from an adherence comes from how those words have been used in the past, what Baker calls prior text. Understanding what is lost and what is added when texts are translated from one language to another reveals a few of the many ways that a language both reflects and creates a word. Similarly, the linguistic elements that vary from one culture to another are the very elements by which language works to create meaning. That is why it is misleading even to speak of language and culture, the very words imply that the two can be separated. That's all from us. Any question?
Yeah, Yuna, please.
Ayuna, silakan.
I wanna ask, What is the relationship between language and culture?
Oke, di-keep dulu ya pertanyaannya.
Ya, Kayla.
Silakan Fatimah tuh. Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I want to ask about what is complementary seismogenesis. Thank you. Baik, pertanyaannya ditampung dulu. Silakan Kalimul Fahmi.
Okay, thank you. I want to ask, how is the language related to the culture? Thank you.
Oke, selanjutnya Fajia, pertanyaan.
Oke, if suaranya ada nggak?
Ada.
Oke. If two people will grow up in the same city and speak the same language, does that mean that the two people have the same culture? Thank you.
Oke, ditampung dulu ya pertanyaannya. I want to try to answer Ayuna's question. What is the relationship between language and culture? The answer is the relationship between language and culture is deeply rooted and complex. For language is used to maintain and convey culture and culture ties. Culture is created, shaped, transmitted, and learned through communication, and communication practice are largely created, shaped, and transmitted by culture. Is that enough, Ayuna?
Yes, thank you, Kayla.
Okay, I want to answer Fatimatul questions. What is complementary schismogenesis? Complementary schismogenesis is a term used to describe what happens when different cultures meet, such as the reaction each culture will give to different patterns of behavior by engaging in more of the opposite behavior. The term was made by Gregory Bateson. Is that clear, Fatimatul?
Thank you, Hamza.
Thank you, Fatimatul.
And I want to try to answer Kalimul Fahmi question. How is language relate to culture? The answer is culture and language are inextricable linked. You can understand a culture without first learning a language. A specific language is usually associated with a particular group of people. You can interact with the culture of the language speaker when you communicate in their language. Is that enough, Kalimul?
Okay, it's enough. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to answer Fazia Sekar questions. If two people who grew up in the same city and speak the same language, does that mean that the two people have the same culture? I think no, because everyone has a different ethnic and class background. In addition, everyone also has their own habits and expectations, which of course come from what is seen and learn it from the family and the surrounding environment. Is that clear, Fazia?
That's perfectly clear for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any question? If there is no more question, we will close this presentation. Thank you for your attention, and I'm sorry if there are any mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.